Welcome
Aquaba.
to the podcast.
Aquaba. So
Bienvenue.
I thought bienvenue sounds poncy. Aquaba sounds good.
Who are they?
Aquabage. At home we had this green certificate paper. So I wrote this certificate thing that said that Karl Schultz is now an expert of, and I made up a martial art called Americad. Right? Which is basically, I explained to the school that in America there was this new martial art called Americad that was
that you become an expert.
Yeah, well, wait. But it's how I became an expert. It was a conglomerate of all the best of the Eastern stuff with the American finesse put on top of it, put an American spin on all the best of it, and it's called Americad. And they were having their big European launch in Newton Abbot in Devon, just down the road. And I went along, and you know, at the time I thought, oh, everyone believes this, but in hindsight, those teachers must have thought this poor retarded child who's brought in a certificate.
I would have made you fight the judo kid. Or shown. Oh man!
I didn't have to.
I know. Imagine if it's like, Carl, can you show us?
But what I said that I'd just gone along to support someone, support a friend, but they mistook me for a competitor, and I won. And now I was an expert in America.
Did you have some prepared moves in case?
No.
Do you know what's beautiful about this?
Just like I was shit at basketball.
You know what's beautiful about this
I couldn't
story?
shoot. I could put it from my legs, but I couldn't shoot.
This is what's beautiful about that story. Is it parallels so much. You view comedy as well. I'm so sick of clapping someone else.
I didn't tell any other. I did the basketball. I did martial arts. I carried on lying when I got to Ghana because I told people
that you were an American expert.
I told people that I was in Mensa. No, I told them on the first day that I was like the youngest ever person to get into Mensa. Yeah.
Oh man.
Then when I got back to England and football was the big thing, I thought that I would tell everyone that I used to play for Reading Juniors before I went out to. But they did make me try to demonstrate my skills, and I began to do.
What age are you now?
I was 14, right? And
so you're 14.
They said, Mr.
American.
Thing is, I'd already really lived.
What a life!
I'd been to Ghana. I mean, that wasn't enough. But I said no. He said, and do you have any questions about, and I was just settling. I said, how good's the football team? Like that. And everyone just went, oh, you what a cringeworthy bastard. I thought it was going to really endear me to everyone. And they said, why? Why? Are you only good at football? Yeah, I had a trial at Reading when I was. And so they took me onto the football field. They more or less marched the new kid out onto the football field and said, right, do some skills then. And I was just on my third kick up when someone just ran up and booted the ball away from me, and that was the end of that lie.
What made you do kick-ups?
No, that's how I decided to demonstrate it for through kick-ups then. And that was it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I told it, related to stand-up, I told everyone that I did stand-up way before I started.
I told people when I was in year 6, so how old was I? 11. I got told by these kids. And do you know a constable's painting of the Haywain?
Yeah.
I went to stay there when I was 11. That was as a school. It's called Flatford.
Mary Poppins.
It's called Flatford Mill.
Right.
And we all stayed there. And they were the two cool kids. And instead of staying with my friends, you had to write on a bit of paper who you would like to share your room with. And all of my friends obviously put me. But because I was like some cunt, I put like the two most popular boys, and I ended up staying with them. And all my friends were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And so we were all lying in bed in like in the room, and I remember went and did a piss, and he said
that name came quickly to you. Now I believe you're telling the truth.
And he pissed, and he came back and said, I've just done white piss. And then it was like, we were like, oh. And then he said that was cum. And we were like, oh shit. So then I went and did a piss. And it was
white piss.
And then I pissed. And it was white. I was like, yeah, me too. And then we all thought that was what like made babies, like white piss. I was like 11.
Did you actually piss white?
Yeah, you know, like when you've just drunk loads of water.
So clear.
Clear, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like this table.
Would it come?
Opalescent.
But then I completely.
Not white.
But they said
I
to
was
me,
like, what the fuck is going on?
they said to me,
Is it against a white background?
yeah. Oh, but they told me. I remember. From this sounds really wanky, but you know, from the age of 9.
Yeah.
But they said, you know, oh, you should be one of those people that does stand-up comedy. Well, they didn't say that obviously, but they said you should be one of those people that, you know, just says jokes and stories and stuff. And then I said, oh, I've already done that. And then they went, and this is actually true, and it puts me in a very bad light, but there we go. I said, I've
This
already...
is when I won the Amuse Moose.
Star quality. They actually said, what did you do? And I was like, oh, I was at a holiday resort with my parents, and I got put on stage, and they had to make me do stand-up.
Is that true?
No, not at all. I completely made it up, and I said my whole routine was taking the piss out of an Indian family in the front row.
Oh my God!
And I then
Were the Scotsmen in?
joined the dots.
Oh my! Is that what you said?
Oh my God! Oh my
Good morning, Butlins. Hey, here's a game for you.
Fuck me!
Here's a game for you.
Yeah, exactly that.
That's ridiculous. So I've been delusional since I was 8. You've been a mad racist.
Makes sense. Does Luke flagged it? Oh, it makes sense, that Chinese thing in Edinburgh.
Yeah, man.
No.
It never leaves.
Never leaves.
Oh,
Dude.
But yeah, I mean,
that's a
that's
bloody lie.
it's terrible.
The only lies I can remember telling at school is
Terrible.
once I wanted to be a cartoonist. I went to Disneyland on holiday, and when I came back, I told everyone at school that they'd offered me a job.
How old were you?
It's like 13, or maybe a bit younger. But generally, what had happened was we had these interactive things in Disney where you could draw, and I drew a picture, and someone went, "Oh yeah, keep it up, and you can have a job here." Like being really encouraging. It's like, yeah, Disney offered me a job.
This is worse. Like when I was 14, right?
Were you still pissing white?
No, mate. I had a mate come round, and he was a really good cartoonist, and I wanted to be a cartoonist.
Is that
And
where
so there
you
was
got
like
your
a
look from?
there was like I wanted to be a cartoon. He
You want to be a cartoonist.
he came round my house once, and we were like, let's do a competition. Let's do a competition. Who can do the best cartoon? And so it was like draw a cartoon strip. So we're in my room, and we're both working, and I was like, I can't work in here with you. I want to go somewhere else. I'll be back in half an hour. And I went out. I went out to my parents' room, and I traced. Do you know Dilbert?
No.
Do you know Dilbert?
Trace the Dilbert.
I traced the Dilbert book.
Oh, that's great.
And then I came back and went, right, let's show each other then. And he showed me his, and then I went, he was like, did you do that? I was like, yes. Completely lied.
Did you use all the words? Did you have words?
Yeah, no, obviously.
With the tie up and everything.
It's like I'd just come up with it. Like I'd just come up with it.
When you told the story, when you said I went out half an hour, I thought you were going to buy a comic.
Buy a beano!
Well, I told a few people that I was related to Karl Schultz, the guy who did Peanuts.
Oh.
It's my namesake. I said, yeah, I'm named after my great uncle, Karl Schultz. Yeah. Whereas I'm actually, I believe.
Great uncle.
Yeah, That's what I said. But I'm actually possibly a relative of an eminent Nazi.
Doesn't surprise me.
Would that surprise anyone? Yeah. Really?
Well, I don't. It's either. Well, this is the story.
Are you going to go home and tell your family that you were telling a story about lies, so you lied that you?
No. This is what every time there's a real mystery around who we're related to on the South African side, and I've been told, got a South African granddad.
I used to be in love with a South African.
Did you? Who was it?
Just a friend. Who
else have you been in love with?
Oh.
And beep. 2 minutes later. All right, I think I've met them.
You know what? I think I've met them.
Seriously,
just 2 minutes of bleeping out names.
Who's? I want to know the South African one.
Oh, just a South African friend of mine.
Really? Did you meet her on holiday? On school holidays? No. You didn't know her.
I've never met her. I just decided just now.
You started to start lying now.
I once kept up a lie for over a year in year 7 that ended up like causing loads of family disruption because I had two. It was in year 7, and I had 2 things that I worried about constantly every day, and one was that I'd lost a football boot because my parents at the start of my new school bought me like a really expensive pair of football boots, and I'd lost one. So just every week in games, I just did it in my trainers. And I just never told them about it, and I just kept one football boot in my bag, and I never mentioned it, and it was horrible, and I was worried about it. And the other one was that I
How did this cause the job?
We'll get to it. The second one was that my mum could never be bothered to make sandwiches every morning.
These 2 things.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think I see where this is going, actually.
My mum, she can be able to make sandwiches day by day.
Before you finish the story, please let this be. You got a sandwich with a football.
You put on a Subway.
So once every 3 months, what we do is me and my mum and my brother would sit down and make about 100 sandwiches.
What?
Like we'd put some music on and get like 4 loaves and loads of ham and loads of cheese and loads of tuna and make about 100, 200 sandwiches and then freeze them.
Did you work in a sandwich shop?
Are you serious?
Working in a sandwich shop and basically you and your brother as cheap labour.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How old are you?
11. So I made all these sandwiches and they were frozen. And because like defrosted sandwich isn't very nice, so I didn't like them. And it would get to...
What is this, man?
It would get to...
If there is a quote of the day...
Like, I will listen back to all of this.
I don't like a defrosted
piss
sandwich.
myself laughing.
There was...
So every lunchtime...
Do you now go to sandwich shops and go... just to be clear, these sandwiches aren't defrosted.
Who made these?
I used to really like apricot sandwiches that would be run under the tap for a while.
The bread had.
No, the whole sandwich. I'd make an apricot jam sandwich.
Is that to defrost it?
No, it's just because I liked it.
So you like...
But that's a whole different
apricot jam, basically, with bread.
What?
And we
Hang on, come on. Stop this. Stop this.
We're still not even got to the football.
Oh yeah,
I want to watch the football, actually. What time is it?
You'd run a sandwich under a tap.
Only
What, are you mental? You put apricots, dried apricots.
No, apricot jam.
Oh right, but no, what? So if they weren't frozen,
It made it like cake sponge.
Huh?
It made it taste kind of like
saliva
cake
will
sponge.
do. Doesn't make change.
No, it doesn't. It makes it into paste, doesn't it?
Well, I like.
So, come on, I want to know what this
So
is.
every
When
lunchtime.
you were 11, did you have teeth?
Yeah! I like chicken when it's run under a tap.
Every lunchtime, I got to lunchtime.
Here's your Nando's meal.
I had
I'll just put it in the blender.
Why does all his friends? Why does Jos always go to the bathroom when he gets his phone?
All right.
So,
Okay, I got to my lunch every day, and I'd have like a cheese string and a fruitly bar
And a really wet
and
sandwich.
a
Fruitly.
a recently defrosted sandwich.
Okay.
And if you were cheese or ham, you were kind of all right. But if you were tuna, it was going to be a disaster because tuna doesn't defrost.
yeah,
at
it's
lunch.
ice.
Well,
It's still ice in
Tuna
it.
takes a whole day to defrost.
Yeah.
Cheese and ham, you're okay.
You're gonna be sick.
But I didn't like them, so I. And the thing is, like looking back, I can see where I went wrong. Because
Can you?
Wait.
Looking back.
You pinpoint which of those points is where you went wrong.
I'm about to pinpoint the point where I went wrong because what I should, if I didn't like the sandwich, there were some things that I should either have said, I don't like these sandwiches, can we do something about it? Or,
But you made them.
So, no, hang on. Come on.
You made these sandwiches and frosted them, and you hated them.
99.
What did you do to them, Carl? Frosted them.
Oh, you know.
But or I should have thrown them away at school. If I really didn't want my mum to know that I didn't like them, I could have thrown them away at school or given them to someone or something. But instead, I just left them in my lunchbox, and then I brought my lunchbox home, and then to make sure my mum never found out, I hid them in my wardrobe behind my teddy bear.
Oh, crap.
This went on.
When you were 11.
Yeah, this went on for about a year, and my plan was. I did have a plan because I realised it was.
Oh, my God. Almighty.
This is why this was the other thing I was worried about. I worried about the football and this. And what I was going to do was I was going to wait until the summer.
What's this got to do with the football boots? That's
Oh,
the thing. That's what I like.
But it was winter, so I thought there was nothing I could do about it. So I'd have to wait till the spring came round before I could resolve it. And my plan was that I'd wait until it got to the spring, and then I'd get a pencil case, and I'd just put some of the sandwiches in their bags. And then I'd go downstairs and I'd go, okay, Mum, just go and do some sketching. And then I'd go around the corner and I'd just throw them into the bushes.
Really?
That was what I was going to do.
You should have done it like Shawshank and just walked it.
Yeah.
Really like just walking.
Just going skating, Mum.
Remember the first time I met Chaz? No.
Yeah, the bastard who takes out the poster, you dug a hole all through your house. Lined with sandwiches.
Oh my God.
Okay, before I could do that, before I managed to take them away, I got to the spring and then I came home one time and my mum and my stepdad were just, I'd been at my dad's for the weekend. I came home and my mum and my stepdad were just sat at the kitchen table in silence and my mum was like in tears. And my stepdad just sat there really, really, really quietly. And then my mum was like, what's going on? And we had this horrible sort of argument about it and she thought I had an eating disorder, which I didn't. I was just like, I just don't like
You
the
kind of
sandwiches.
did.
Yeah, like you didn't.
You had
you didn't,
something.
You didn't eat lunch for a year.
Yeah. you made sandwiches that you froze and then kept in your cupboard.
if my
That's not
11
eating.
if my
That's not
11
eating wrong.
Them, you ran him under a tap.
You had something.
What do you think I am? Weird? I would.
My mum was like, all your teddy bears have rotted, and I was like,
Oh, I can imagine all the front is really pristine, and then you turn around, the back is just.
It's been burnt through.
Yeah. Oh God.
this argument went on for about half an hour, and I was just like, I just don't understand. And then she was like, you should have told me, and all this kind of thing. And then eventually we like got better, and my stepdad hadn't said anything. He'd just been sat there the whole time. And then like she gave me a hug and everything, and it was all fine. And then we sat down, and she was like, never do that again, and all that kind of thing. And then it all subsided for a bit, and then my stepdad went, I know what he's been eating, his other football boot, and my entire world was just destroyed in a moment. And I cried for days.
Oh crap.
They brought me
His
some new
other
football boots.
His other football boot. I didn't see that
I didn't
coming.
see that coming either. That's such a thing to do to a kid.
I know.
When they think,
Yeah,
like,
they
and
think
they
they're
bring
out.
it up like
Yeah.
we've known for a year. That,
Yeah. We've been watching you at
Not
games
only-
in your flip-flops.
But mum and dad they always go through your school bag.
Yeah, so they would have
So
known.
they were
would
like-
have been
like-
like, lost his football boot.
So
Should we
did
see
he
if
mean it
tells
in
us?
like
But they
a good day to bury bad news, or was it like gonna really get him?
Been saving that football boot going on for years.
I told you he should have saved it up.
I'm gonna kick him when he's down.
Oh.
That was the longest lie.
So your family spent a year doing a perfectly structured sitcom episode.
Yeah.
Thank God for them.
Done.
Done.
We got there.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
It was
funny.
horrible.
That was like my first wank. I did in my tartan red pajamas.
Was your semen yellow?
Huh?
Was your semen
Were you
yellow?
wearing them?
No, I was. That's the thing. I was. I had a wank and then
I used to have tartan.
when it all started coming out, I didn't know what was going on. So instead of addressing it, instead of cleaning it up,
Yeah.
I just pulled my trousers up and then basically spaffed my pants. And then I remember I woke up. I was like, "Fucking hell!" Like my mum's gonna.
You passed out.
Passed out. No, I was like, Christ, because obviously it's all hard. So I was like, I can't clean these. I don't know how to clean. My mum's gonna find this. She's gonna kill me. So I screwed them in a ball and I hid them under my desk. And they were there for about
10 years.
they were there for about a year. And then one day they
Your
just
mum was
weren't-
crying, "You've got an eating disorder."
It would have been the same smell.
You got some new football boots out of it. So.
It smells like tuna sandwiches in here. I've read about this. I wonder what this is. Jesus Christ!
It's white piss.
He's white pissing himself. Oh God!
Brilliant.
There's
How old
a lot
were
of
you?
callbacks there.
13.
13.
I was at a sleepover when...
You had
one
your
of
first
my-
wank?
No,
When
well,
someone
no, but
stole your tartan
I was
pajamas.
taught- and I never saw them again. I was there. There were three of us. There was me, and
Oh.
was like the wiser one. Me and sort of like more innocent. And then we were watching a film. One of those. It was like an American Pie or something like that. One of those like laddish teenage films. And then we were watching it, and then was like, "Have we all got erections, lads?" And then we were like, "Nah." And then we were like, "What are you on about?" And then he taught us how to masturbate. And then he was like, "Oh, have you not?"
Okay. I'm just going to let it go.
He was like, "Have you not ever done it?" And then we were like, "Oh no, it's rude." And then he was like, "Just try it now." And then like taught us how to. He was like, "Take your hand and step by step." And then he was
Wait,
like,
so
"It's
you
good,
all
isn't it?" And
did
then
you all
we
do
were
it?
for a bit?
So you all put your hands down you?
Yeah. And then
Did you
we-
get them out?
No, we were in sleeping bags.
How old were you?
You're in sleeping bag.
How many of you?
3.
How old? How old?
What
Must
is
have
this
been about
fucking
12.
madness?
12.
Yeah. And then
Sleeping bag.
The white teddy bear's looking down.
Whose house are you at?
garage.
Imagine Ben.
You're in a garage. You got free.
Imagine his mum just. I'm just going to take the boys some snacks. Oh.
All three of them.
Oh, it's all right. They're playing Wriggly Worms.
Just a rustling that can be heard outside.
You just all.
Didn't finish because eventually he was like, "That's enough." But you see,
That's enough.
and we were like, "Yeah, I do see what you mean."
man.
And then we all just went to bed. But the next day we all ran home so excited. We were
Crying.
like, "I've got to try this properly."
Oh boy.
That is so much of your life I've got to process after today.
How old are you?
12ish.
3 12-year-olds in sleeping bags in a garage,
It's like a Daily Mail headline.
Watching American Pie.
wriggling around. Oh, they're playing Houdini. Fine.
You walk in the.
Oh my God, they've all got eating disorders.
Imagine that.
I think as well, like, you can seen enough films that we thought that we knew what like a rowdy lad's party was supposed to be like?
It's not lying down in a garage.
There were never any girls there.
What a lad's party!
It was only ever the three of us, so we used to play like strip drinking games with hooch. But,
Strip?
Yeah, but there were no girls, so we didn't really get it. So we just ended up with the three of us.
Were you in the sleeping bags playing the strip poker?
No, we were just out there. We were just like, everybody had to like.
Did you
get
play?
naked.
You
Did
all
you play,
naked? You all ended up naked?
Play spin the bottle as well.
No, but we did all get
Two.
naked. We all had naked forfeits. I had to ride a bike around naked and
In the garage. Just circling the other two.
What are you doing?
Their sleeping bags on.
I'm just gonna see how the boys are. It's like the velodrome.
You imagine coming into that.
Ben's not again.
They're doing the Chris Hoy. It's like.
Ben had to bounce on an exercise ball naked. That was his forfeit. So
Have you guys thought of a reunion anytime soon?
I tweeted one of them the other day and said,
They've
"Remember
both
our
committed
parties?"
suicide.
I got no reply. No, one of them works for Groupon. What the other one was.
Oh my god!
Oh, God almighty.
We used to play Mario Party.
What's Mario Party?
That's what they,
Sort of like a
so they
board
called
game.
it.
Yeah, I know.
Anyone for a game of Mario Party?
I don't have an N64. No, don't worry about that.
They were great, those parties.
Were they?
Sixth form, it all ended.
Is that a wrap up?
Oh, good.
You were 15 when you stopped doing that. So how old have you been? 16?
Hang on, would
You
you?
were
Six, no,
16.
sixth form, 16.
Yeah.
You were 16 when you stopped hanging out in your mate's garage.
I don't think we did the naked bit anymore, but we certainly used to.
But you thought about it often.
Oh yeah, fondly.
Fondling, yeah.
That is like
Great guys.
a really different version of the film Stand By Me.
The British version.
The Shane Meadows version.
I split boys.
If they ever do an In-Betweeners prequel, they've got to come to Three boys and sleeping bags.
The only
That's
thing I
better than the in-between. That's the thing with the in-betweeners. There's a lot of them. Oh, it's just yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Just
yeah.
No, but they go. But
one of John Kearns' many industry men.
no, but they go. But they go up to girls, and there's always girls there that they're embarrassed about. But
Yeah, with
like
Jaws.
like with Jaws, but it's the same with me. There weren't any. Like the only ones I ever saw were like because I went to an all-boys school.
Yeah.
Was
Except at sixth form.
well, sixth form
Oh, yeah.
it all changed, but like
Yeah.
I didn't speak to any girls for about 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, it completely obviously
I went to a
stunted my
drama
relationships.
club that had some girls in. But I just thought they were weird.
My
boys.
mate.
Fucking hell! That's
My mate once.
fucking hell.
I was like, wow,
We-
he is dressed. What are you wearing?
I remember there was one girl that lived round near us, and we'd all kind of kissed her. And there was one mate who couldn't sort of talk to girls, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kiss her, I'm gonna kiss her." And we asked him what had happened, and he went, "We were like, did you kiss her?" And I went, "No, no." And he looked really sheepish. And what had happened is, instead of kissing her, he pushed her down a hill.
She died.
She's really, really injured. It's like, okay. But she just panicked, like, douche.
Fucking what?
Brilliant.
Oh,
Oh, man.
right.
So funny.
I nearly blinded a girl once.
Yeah, but this is in the last few weeks. So
At an airport
she was
waiting.
asking for the money, and
No, it was when I was a teenager, nearly blind a girl trying to kiss her. Because I did the cheesiest thing was we were on Hungerford Bridge and I said, "Hey, look at that." The idea is when she turned around, I'd kiss her. Like, I thought that'd be.
Did you know this girl? Just walking down the bridge. Hey, look at that.
No, we've been eating.
I just get to sit like this, casually, just like somebody in the video just slip back on the seat.
So fucking oh, I've got that on camera. So wait, so you pointed.
Wait, I think you can imagine where this story's going.
No,
we'd been out all evening, and then it was quite dark and it was quite cold. It was on Hungerford Bridge, and I was walking back to the to Waterloo Station, and it was going to be like, oh, I'm going to get a kiss before I say goodbye. I was like, what's that? Just pointing at the festival hall, I think, it's going, what's that? That wasn't there this morning. What's that? You know. And then she turned around and I kissed her in the eye, right? But I was so cold myself that it was. She said it was like having like an ice shard go in her eye, and so I had to leave her at the station, and she was just just going. The last I saw of her was just the back of this girl's head on an escalator there, and but she told everyone. She told absolutely everyone. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that wasn't as good.
Luckily, you're playing for Reading.
To be relative to Jos's upbringing.
Rotting bears.
Upbringing.
1-year-old tuna sandwiches. 3 boys in a ring wanking in sleeping bags.
Well, the UK's because I came back to go to a boys' school when I was 14, and so I unlearnt how to talk to women, because from years 7 to 9 I was at a mixed school in Ghana, and as soon as the second I came back, I moved from Ghana to Essex to Southend, and I didn't fancy any Southendian girls, and I thought I was gay for ages, just because every girl there was a slag, a proper slag. And I just moved back from Ghana where it was like really quite a religious thing, so I thought, oh, I must not like women. And then I went to university, and there was some Swedish ones there, and it was all right. But it was a 16-year-old.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Carl, is your recent behaviour with fraternising with women just you reasserting that you're still not gay?
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you want to really find out if you are or not, just have a sleepover at Jos's.
Yeah.
Well, they're still there.
Yeah.
I'll just take Jos's place.
Just see Carl coming out of Jos in the morning, smiling, sleeping bag under his arm.
No, I'm wearing the sleeping bag at the door.
Wanking in a sleeping bag. Well,
it's because I was a folkie. I was quite overweight as well when I was like 16, so I had leonine hair, and so I couldn't talk to anyone because you go to the Chinneries on a Friday, and that was like the local band place where you had places like bands like Goza, Resin, Silo 13. Get Cape, Wear Cape,
They're
Fly.
just internet names, surely.
No, those are real Southend band. Goza, Get Cape, Wear Cape. He was in the year above me. And he used to be in a band called Silverskin. To this day, I'm still my proudest thing at school is there was a busy common room, and I threw an empty Tango bottle and hit him. I was very proud of that. Really proud of that.
My proudest day at school was in.
God.
Which says a lot of my sexual.
Let's see.
Hotham Junior School. In Putney.
At sixth form. I was doing my A-levels at Hotham.
And there was you had big assembly like you're saying, and then every now and then they'd get like someone who'd done something special to come up, and everyone would clap, and it was never me, and I was upset about that as well. But then we were at our friend Joanna's house.
Did your friends make an assembly?
I want to know what the connection is between that and we're at my friend Joanna's house. Because you know there's going to be a real pain.
Okay, so me and my family and like my mum's friends and all their families all went to Joanna's house, and she had this cool swimming pool, and I was about 6, I guess, and I had this god sister, and she was about 2, I guess. And then one time all the adults went away from the swimming pool, they went off to have like a picnic in the orchard or something. And then...
What? What? They did what? They have a picnic in the orchard?
Yeah.
Is that a euphemism as
They would
well?
have a picnic
Swingers party.
Joss, was
We're
your
just going
life
for a picnic.
so bleak as a child? You read a lot of books and just
You've read a lot of
memories.
Chekhov.
I was left by the pool, and then after a while I noticed that Phoebe's in the pool drowning.
The 2-year-old.
Yeah, but because I was really young at the time, I didn't know what drowning was, so I just watched her for about a minute.
How long does it take a 2-year-old to drown?
Well, we're going to find out.
Sorry.
And then eventually I worked out what was going on, and I was like, oh, she's drowning, so I like lifted her out. And then I was like...
She's right by the side. She wasn't even out there. She's right by the side. Oh.
And then I was like, you lot in the orchard. And then they came back and they were like, oh. And then Joanna went to get a rosette for me to wear, but the only rosette she had was for the chicken rearing competition. So I got the prize chicken rearing rosette. And they were all like, well done, Jos. And I didn't tell them that I'd watched her drown for a minute, but like, they didn't need to know that. And then in school, on Monday, I was in
Fucking hell, you win.
I was in assembly, and then we were all sat there, and then Mrs. Taper, who's dead now, but
Why, did you watch her drown?
lung cancer.
God!
Mrs. Taper went, and now to reward our hero, and I was like, who's this going to be? And then she was like, Josiah, and then called me up, and then she gave me a proper rosette that said like lifesaver or something. And then everyone clapped.
Is this for the chicken rearing as well?
I thought you were going to take the chicken... Did you take the chicken rearing thing to school?
No, I just left it.
I really thought that's where this was going.
Well, it was.
That you were going to lie about chicken rearing to your school. I would have.
Oh, no.
I would have done.
But then we went back to the classroom.
reared
This was-
I remember I was sick of clapping this milkmaid.
Thanks for listening to the What Not podcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube, so listen to us there. And please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are.